I'm Brandon from The Architects, and you're watching Punkvideosrock.com.
Hey guys, Robert Herrera here with Punkvideosrock.com. We're hanging out at the Palladium in Hollywood, and I'm hanging out with Brandon of The Architects. How you doing, Brandon?
I'm good. I'm good.
How's this tour been so far? Well, it's almost to its end.
Yeah, we're at the very tip of the tail end, and it's been a absolutely fantastic, marvelous tour. Like, couldn't complain about it.
Nice. I just saw it's still really early for tonight's show, and there's already kids camping out.
Yeah. So the line will go all the way around the block before the doors get
That's
open.
crazy. You guys played last night here. How was the reception of the show?
The show was great. Like, this is a nice, big, pretty room, and the show was great. The kids were real cool. You know, this whole one of the great surprises. We were surprised because we're, you know, perpetual pessimists. The great surprise of this tour was that, like, every night the kids are really cool. There's none of that, like, you know,
they just came to see one band in specific, and
yeah, there's none of that, like, oh, well, you know, it's Trenton. That's how people are in Trenton, or like, oh, I was Salt Lake. People are weird in Salt Lake. No, every night it's like almost exactly the same kind of cool.
That's crazy. That's good. That's good.
Awesome.
That always you know, makes the show even better as well.
Oh yeah.
So what's it like hanging around with the guys from My Chemical Romance?
It's the other thing is you couldn't ask for better dudes or a better crew to be on tour with. Like, nicest guys. Everybody on this tour is like in it for the tour. Yeah. Like, they are in it for the whole team.
That's good.
You know, that makes it really fun to be part of a team. There's you know, I've done plenty of tours in my life, and a lot of times on tour it can be like every band for himself. Yeah. And it can be real competitive, and
it just adds more stress to everything.
Yeah, it makes everything a lot, you know, it makes a long tour feel even longer. But this is like, if this is what touring is, then I'm ready. We've done this for 8 weeks. I'm ready to give me 5 days at home to like pet my dogs and stuff.
And do it all over again.
And I will happily go out for another 36.
In this band, 3 of you guys are brothers. So what's it like having brothers with you all the time?
I don't really know any other way of life, so I'm like, I always have a hard time answering that because I don't have anything to compare it to. Yeah. I've been in a band with my 2 brothers, one band or another, since we were, you know, since the youngest of us was 9. And I mean, I've played with other people, and I don't care to play with other people. Yeah. Like, I like playing with my brothers, and, you know, like, we in general we prefer to play with, you know, to remain, you know, the
to stay with each other.
Yeah. I mean, you know, so I'm sure it's weird for Keenan being the non-brother in the band. I'm sure it's weird, like, you know, for somebody that's like working with us or whatever, you know, engineers and producers. I'm sure it's weird for them, but I don't really know any other way of doing it.
That's cool.
So we're not like the Gallagher brothers. We're not like have like these fist fights jumping out of the, you know, throwing people through
actual
coffee
stories to tell.
And shit. Yeah, there's no like none of that like war wounds bullshit. That doesn't that's not us at all.
Your last album was The Hard Way. Yeah. And you guys actually, when recording that record, you guys worked with a producer that worked more with rap. Yes. Aaron, how was it working with him?
Aaron's awesome, and you know, we've worked with rock guys, and you know, sure, I like working with rock guys. You know, rock guys, you know, have all kinds of rock tricks that they do to make you sound like Guns N' Roses, or make you, you know,
definitely,
or like, oh, I know the mic that the Who used, or whatever. Yeah, you know, like rock guys have their own bag of rock tricks. But Aaron is a delight to work with. Aaron is an awesome guy, and he's fast as you know, he's as fast as you could possibly expect a human being to be in the studio, which is really fun because I mean, I hate waiting around for shit. Like, I like to just go.
Especially when you guys are touring a lot and you don't have that much time. So
yeah, and we don't have a lot of time. Aaron makes the most of it, and he's got, like, you know, we're all huge hip hop fans, and he's got stories about some of our favorite artists, like that he worked with them. You know, it's like, you want to hear a story about Eazy-E? Aaron's got a story about Eazy. Crazy. Aaron worked for Eazy for a while. Yeah. You know, like I have a picture on my phone of the case for the master tapes for Montel Jordan. Wow. This is how we do it, and it says, you know, producer P Daddy. You know, and you're like, fuck, you were there. You made that recording. That's cool. Like, I mean, you know.
That's crazy. How did you guys come about to working with him?
He's from Kansas City, and he had been out here. He'd been in Los Angeles for a long time doing rap, and moved back to Kansas City. I think he just wanted to, needed to change the scenery, and went home to Kansas City, and started working in the studio where we have a rehearsal space, and we just kind of eventually connected.
And
yeah, I mean, and he's a pretty cool customer. Like he's very mellow. He's very chilled out.
Nice.
Which is
that's
awesome.
good. That makes the experience a lot easier for you guys. And
yeah, and because the four of us all get pretty wound up about shit, so it's nice to have one guy who's kind of the mellow sponge who just will soak it all up.
That's cool. That's cool. When you guys are on tour, well, this tour specifically, how do you guys go about with choosing your set list?
Before this tour started, I put up a thing on our Facebook page. It was just like, hey, what do you guys want to hear? Like, because sometimes you can, if we keep making our own set list and we're not really, like, we'll get a little bit self-indulgent now and then, and we'll be playing what we want to play more than we're playing what people
want to
hear. And I'm a fan too, and I get pissed off if I go see if I went and saw AC/DC and they just like
didn't play anything that you liked.
They shook me all night long because they wanted to play some song off the new record that I didn't even have yet. I'd be like, okay, I'm calling bullshit on that. I'd be pissed. I'd be kind of thinking about the $60 that I spent on my ticket and the hours I spent waiting to park or whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do that to anybody else. So not that AC/DC ever did that to me, and I am not impugning or
no one in particular
inferring anything about AC/DC because they have never done anything but please me live. So we asked people, and people put up a bunch of suggestions, and sadly we couldn't incorporate every single suggestion because we only have we have a short set.
Yeah.
We're the opening band, so if we played all the suggestions, we'd be playing like 90 minutes. But
that's true.
We've been trying as hard as we can to work them all in, and over the course of the tour, we, in different towns, we'll manage to throw a different song.
Throw something else in there.
Yeah.
Are you guys doing any, like, maybe 1 or 2 new songs? Are you guys testing out any music on this tour, or?
We have a huge pile of new songs, but we have not, like, we've done a couple of them like at soundcheck.
Yeah.
But the thing about taking a new song on tour is it's like taking a girl you just met to a really nice restaurant. Like, before you know it, like, there's implied commitment, and I don't want to get committed to any of these songs. I'm not putting a ring on any of these songs' finger until I'm sure that they're really.
But you're gonna use them.
Yeah, I have a real, like, I have a selfish attitude about this next record. I really want to make sure that it's as excellent as it can possibly be. So I'm not getting married to any of these songs until I'm positive that they're going to be a good mother.
Yeah.
And that they get along with my mom, or all
Got
that
it. The works.
Yeah, the works.
So what could you tell us about a possible new record?
Well, when we get home from this, we're going to work on one, and we're going to get back to work. And so I don't know how long we're going to keep in writing mode. Like we were in writing mode for a long time before this tour, and hopefully we'll go home and get right back into writing mode. And I don't know how long it'll be before we decide it's time to pull the trigger on actually making a record. Because the last few records, like the last 3 records, were all made on some insane deadline.
Yeah.
Where
now you guys are on your own.
Well, it was
pretty much as far as deadlines go.
Yeah. Well, even like the current one with Skeleton Crew. Like, we had to have that record in the can within, like, 90 days or something.
Wow.
So it was like, working with a gun to the back of my head, and that can be fun, but it's like exhausting.
Yeah.
And
that's.
So we wanted to take a minute and get this one sorted out, so that we felt like it was just like the material itself was really strong. Okay. And so that's what, like that. I don't really have a plan yet. We don't have a plan yet as far as like when it's going to come out, or when we're, or who we're going to record with, or any kind of stuff like that.
Cool. After this tour's over, what else do you guys have planned out for the remainder of the year?
We're definitely going to go home and write, and I think there's a strong possibility that we'll be back out on tour in the fall. I'm not sure which tour it'll be, but we'll be doing something. Like, we can't sit at home for very long before we get itchy. Yeah. So even if it's just going out and playing, some chicken coop in Topeka, Like, it'll happen. Like, we'll get out.
You guys just don't want to stay at home.
No, it's you know, you get a taste for this kind of life early, and it's just got you, and you've got to keep doing it.
How do you guys go? What is a typical day for you guys look like on tour?
Depends on the tour. So on this tour, it's like being on fucking vacation.
Yeah.
That's how it feels. Like, we show up, we load in, and we sit around and wait for sound check. And then usually, like, sound check is the beginning of busy. And then we do sound check, and then we have like an hour before we have to be on stage. So it's like sound check, straight back to, you know, get yourself ready, get stretched out, get warmed up, you know, make sure your strings are in tune and all that kind of shit. And then right on stage. And then we have a little bit of time, like from when we're done and we're all loaded out, we'll have a little bit of time to kill, you know, where we can go get food or call home or whatever, and then we all got to go grab boxes of CDs when the show's over so we can be out front.
Go and promoting it.
Yeah, go out front and sell CDs after the show. Like, we're big believers in that. Like, that's I think
that's the best way. More interaction with the fans as well.
Well, yeah, and if you don't have $1 million marketing plan, you can at least have a winning smile, you know, and draw them in with that. Hi, look at my winning smile. Don't you want a CD from me? Of course you want to buy a CD from me. I've got a winning smile.
No. Are you the jokester in the band?
No, we're all that way.
I can't imagine being bored with you guys on tour. Like,
and we have one of the deepest bags of inside jokes and gross pranks and of any band working. I would go ahead and put us next to, you know, I'd say that in terms of inside jokes and being like smart asses and stuff, we could absolutely play with the big boys on that one. Like, we're the Lady Gaga of smart ass, you know, smart ass snarky backstage humor.
Maybe for the next tour we'll have to like spend a whole day with you guys and see how that is like.
Yeah, that would be fun. You'd definitely catch a lot of off-color humor.
Yeah, we'll do an exclusive or something.
Yeah.
So
especially if we can work blue like this. Fuck. And so there's
anytime.
A lot of that. Yeah.
Do you want to give out any last words to the fans and the viewers out there?
Man, I'm terrible at last words. So because I always end up blowing it with the last words. But so I'll roll with some cliches like stay in school, don't do drugs, don't get in cars with fucking weirdos. If you're gonna wear a suit jacket, wear a fucking tie. Oh, get some, like, if you're over the age of 18, like, if you're under the age of 18, doesn't apply to you, you get a pass. If you're over the age of 18, buy a pair of grown-up shoes. And I don't mean some like hipster Aldo fucking indie rock shoes. I mean like a pair of grown-up shoes that you can wear to court or to a wedding or to a funeral and not look like a fucking hobo. Grown-up shoes are overlooked by a lot of people, and those people look like chumps at funerals and weddings and in court. And they go to jail for longer than people who actually have a pair of cap toes that they can put on and go to court. So I know you won't do it, but I'm telling you, do it. Even though I know you won't. You'll learn this shit the hard way, and you'll go to court and end up paying way more child support than the guy who actually has some fucking cap toes. Huh? That's my advice. Last words right there.